What is up, guys? Shakur here. Have you ever wanted to know what it feels like to be a badass spy who can knock off bad guys without a second thought? Well, Splinter Cell's about as close as most of us are gonna get. So let's take a look at how this game holds up. So we pick up with Sam just before shit hits the fan, and to be honest, I didn't even know this was him until someone said his name. So the last Splinter Cell I played was Chaos Theory, so it looks like they went a little different with this one. So everything is going as planned, when things seem to go wrong. Now this mission plays out like a tutorial, showing you the moves from cover to cover and how to use the execution system. Both of these systems play pretty much just like Conviction did. You point here, you press A, and you move from cover to cover. The covering system works most of the time, but I'll get into why a little later. After you finish this brief mission is when you get to the real game where everything opens up from you. From upgrades to the Mercs vs. Spies mode. But sorry guys, this is just a single player review. The main mission hub is what they call SIM. This is where you can pick your next mission, or you can upgrade your weapons and your gadgets. Speaking of upgrades, there's a ton to choose from, each playing their own specific role in how you want to play the game. Do you want to be built around stealth? Or would you rather have a high armor ranking and go in loud? Either way, it's totally up to you. Each weapon has its own upgrades, but they do repeat, so one pistol will have about 90% of the shared upgrades for a different one. There's a lot of cosmetic upgrades too. You can change the color of your suit, or you can even change the light colors of your goggles. I don't know, I always thought it was pretty cool when you're sitting in the shadows and all you can see is the blue glow off your equipment. Gameplay wise, Splinter Cell sticks to what it knows, and that's keeping it strictly about stealth. Of course, you can go in gun blazing if you want, but that usually ends up in a bad situation. I tried going with stealth, but it usually fails around halfway through, and I end up draining a clip into a room full of baddies. But it always feels rewarding to go through a room killing everyone and being completely silent, or pulling off that perfect double headshot to keep the guards from seeing you. There are some action pieces, but it doesn't go the way of Dead Space, where it's trying to be an action game with some stealth. This is a pure stealth game with a bit of action thrown in. And that's exactly what we wanted. The missions are varied enough location-wise. One mission will be in Iran infiltrating an army base, while the next you'll be in Chicago trying to sneak through a train yard. Also, no spoilers, but when you're in the train yard, they throw in a couple of set pieces that I thought were really clever. The game itself is around 7 to 9 hours long on normal, but I didn't touch any of the extra stuff like multiplayer or any of the side missions that you can do in co-op. So that can stretch it out at least another 10 hours, depending on how much of a perfectionist you are, how much you love the multiplayer. But with all the good, there has to be some bad. The loading times are a little bit long, but I didn't install this on my hard drive seeing as I had a little bit of space left, and that could help it. I was also not a fan of the ending section of the game, or how the game ended in general. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but the last boss fight was really hard, but not in a good way. The cover system controls really fall apart when you need to move quickly, and I died multiple times trying to move from cover to cover. But even with these drawbacks, this game was a blast. The story is really interesting even though the plot is something we've all seen before. And I was on the edge of my seat in a lot of these missions trying to get that perfect run. And I'm super pumped to play Mercs and Spies again. Snapping a buddy's neck after you snuck up on him never got old, and I can't wait to do it again. If you're a Splinter Cell fan, you will not be disappointed in this game. They really know how to treat Sam Fisher, and it really shows with this one.
No.